Okay, good morning, guys. Good morning. How are you doing today? Today is the 7th of April 2020, and it's another week where we do the usual market analysis, weekly market analysis, and well, we have a few instruments on the radar for today, for the week. For Euro USD, if you remember, we have some nice shots on Euro USD last week. But this time around, we're looking forward to buy positions, right? It's a trend down, but now we're looking forward to some buy positions. And as it's retracing, I would like to see a retracement somewhere around here, and then push higher to this area, and maybe push higher to this area here of untested resistance, also as untested resistance on this other level here, right? I'm not saying it's going to go more or less coast to coast, but what I'm trying to say is at least all things being equal, we should at least get to this area here of untested resistance, right? Untested is always good, so that at least we know that there are people waiting there to sell, and that's why it's untested. They're usually fresh orders, so the market should be, attracted to that area, heavily attracted to that area, and that is for Euro USD. The good thing about trading is that after a while you start to fall into a rhythm, and you start to know what more or less should be happening in the market. Like now, the USD chart opposite of the Euro USD, as we normally say, and if you look at this one very well, just broke out of this area here of consolidation, and as it broke out similar to the Euro USD, I'm expecting it to pull back, and then here untested as well, right? So some levels here that I feel needs to be tested, and obviously I would also be looking forward to buying this USD chef if only it breaks out of this other side, because this cluster here, this series market here is very key. This movement here is very key, and you can see that it's did what it had to do with this candle here, a big candle to break out, right? So that could be easy confirmation of sellers coming into this USD chart, right? So it's all about looking at all the candles and being able to tell a proper story of what's happening. If you look at the previous video that was made, which we titled all about candlesticks, everything you need to know about candlesticks, to give us a heads up based on how the candlesticks is moving, telling us the proper story. Because looking at this whole chart, one could say, hey, but it's an uptrend, shouldn't we be looking forward to buying? Yes, it's an uptrend, we should be looking forward to buying, but at the same time the market has a different story, and once you just understand the story of the market, you know whether it's going to be a buy or a sell. So this is what we're looking for over here as well, and if we get a position, we'll let you know definitely. Australian dollar USD, we also took this last week as well. We're shorting excuse me, we're selling, and if you remember last week, got out over here, but now the market has done this straight up move, and then for today, this week, I'm interested in buying. I want a retracement back to this area here. This area is very interesting. We have this whole cluster here. As a matter of fact, if you look at this AUD US very well, it's looking like a big mess in a way. It's looking very dirty in a way, but in the dirtiness at times you would also be able to see what the market is still trying to do, and you still be able to see the cleanliness inside the dirtiness. I hope I said that properly. You'll still be able to see the cleanliness inside the dirtiness of any chart, and for this one, I'm looking forward to buying around here. Hopefully we get a retracement back to this place so that we can go long. By the way, nothing major on the economic data for today, but that doesn't mean the market can't still move accordingly, can't still move in a volatile manner, because at the end of the day we have the fundamentals based on scheduled and also based on breaking. But scheduled is rather quiet, but for breaking, anything can happen. And as usual, the Kiwi usually same movement most times with the Aussie, that is AUD USD and NZD USD. The AUD USD is known as the Aussie and the NZD USD known as the Kiwi. Same thing over here, looking for a retracement up to this point to push higher. So in all the messiness as well in this chart, right, messiness, dirtiness, you can see the cleanliness in this. I hope I'm not using rubbish English, but either way, we're here to trade forex and we're not really bothered about the English, so to say, right? So I'm looking forward to an entry here. Hopefully it traces accordingly and gives us a good entry with a small stop loss, and then obviously big reward at the end of the day, right? So we have about one or two more charts of interest, at least from what I'm looking at from today. USD card also of interest in all the messiness once again, right? We can still see a lot inside, you know, the sideways movement, because if you look at this chart as a whole, this particular one, you see that the market majorly is on this sideways pattern, right? But I can see from my little experience, you can see now it is reacting to this area here, and price tends to react to areas that you have drawn because of your understanding. So from here, as it's trying to pull up, I'm expecting to pull up to this place or to this place, and then give me a sell to drop. I would obviously prefer the market to get back to this area here, so you can give me a better sell, you know, better sell, meaning that smaller stop loss and a bigger take profit. So that's what I like to see over here on this dollar card, on the loonie, right? And then finally gold. I'm not interested in gold, let me put it that way. Gold was not my friend last week, and I'm fighting with gold. But if I was not fighting with gold, obviously I'll be looking forward to a buy. Not here. I don't like this. This is too it's too tight, right? Based on my risk to reward, it's too tight. I prefer something like here to give me better reward, right? Yeah, like here might be a bit of a stretch, but I prefer this area here around 1621 zones, right? Let's call them zones, levels, areas, or some people call them handle, or whatever you want to call them, right? Around this area here is where I prefer for gold. But I want gold to apologize to me for what it did to me last week before I could place a trade on it this week, right? Gold is on a timeout for me, but let's see how it goes, right? So that is it for this this week of the analysis. This is the before, as usual. I'll show you the before, the during, and the after, just for confirmation and for us to learn based on my own thought process. We've gone through a couple of charts now. EU and its sister or cousin dollar chef, Australian dollar with its twin New Zealand dollars, and then loonie, what we want to do, and then gold, which I said I'm fighting with. Gold needs to apologize to me, and basically this is what I have, and we'll see how it goes. As usual, I'll do another update if I get entries. You see my entries. If no entries, I'll still show you what the market did accordingly, and then we'll use this to learn. As usual, don't forget to ask questions if you have any, and also you can subscribe, like, and share, so that when we do this regularly, that is the market analysis videos and also the educational videos, you can get the alert and also see them as soon as possible, so that we can learn, right? So enjoy the rest of your day. Take it easy. The usual, keep your hands clean by washing them thoroughly, hand sanitizers, social distancing, and so on should be the norm for now until we get out of this virus era, right? So be safe, everybody. Take care, and see you soon. Okay, great. Good afternoon, guys. It's 2 p.m. here, and today is the 9th of April, and this is just another update on the analysis that we did earlier. Now look at what we have here. We looked at the market, and then we said something based on analysis. Of course, you must always have directional bias, and as usual, we're looking at this area here, and we had a consolidation here, and then we said something earlier that we expected the market to break out and then come back and retest this area as a form of now support, right? Because we're looking forward to it pushing higher to here and maybe here. Push here to this area first of all, and then push here. Well, I don't know whether we should put greedy. I don't know whether we should be greedy and look for an area here. Well, obviously, you watch it. Today is Thursday, by the way, and I don't hold trades over the weekend. That's just my own style. Now, look at what happened. The market seems to have been ranging since 7th, about 2 days now, since we had this breakout here. And then from here, the market has been ranging. We're now waiting for the market to do something, and it didn't do anything until the news on the dollar about 1:30 p.m. That's about 30 minutes, 40 minutes ago that came out, and then we had this explosion here, and then it seems to want to break out to the upside now. So now we can simply say that we can simply adjust our stop loss from here and maybe move to break even, or just bring it slightly below here and wait and see whether this breaks out or this pulls back. Either way, we're in a little profit now, and it's always good for you to manage your trades accordingly, based on your analysis, of course. So you always wait and see what's happening. I think in about 15 minutes there about now, the Fed Chair Powell for the US will be giving a speech that could also cause some volatility. So let's see whether it pushes higher some more or lower. Well, based on the news that came out now, we can see that dollar is weak across the board, and that's why Euro USD shot up. And don't forget, we normally say this, that when we have Euro USD, USD chart tends to go in the opposite direction, and you can see we have a position here as well. Stop loss is here. It's already at this area of well, what would we call it again? It's already at this area of support here, right? Oh, sorry, this was former resistance, now should act as support. That means that from where it is, it could bounce up or push further down, and then we have some further levels here. You can see where our take profit is, a conservative area here. So I forgot to put in the other levels that we have here. I'll just draw them up here. So looking at these other levels, I'm expecting the market to push further, either hit this place here or here. So it's gotten to where some people will call TP1, then we have TP2, TP3, and so on. So let's see how it goes. As usual, we normally say Euro USD and USD CHF, they tend to move in opposite directions, right? So let me clean this up. And also we got this trade on cable, GBP USD, nice entry here, and a nice entry. We're in a few hundreds, I don't know how many again. Let's use the crosshair to find out how many pips we're in. Entry was here. We're in about 150 pips positive now as we speak, right? And so always good to map up your trade. We had areas here of interest, different areas here of interest. Got our entry here, could have added more here, and so on. So if it does this and pushes higher, all the same, good, right? Well, trading is boring. Well, I'm sure you've heard people say that because you keep on saying the same thing over and over again. AUD USD, today we had Australian dollar and New Zealand dollars on the bank holiday, so we're expecting some slow movement, but due to the dollar weakness, obviously it's a currency pair and not just a pair we're trading. So due to the dollar weakness, and that's what made us to push out of here on this Australian dollar USD excuse me. And you also see the same push over here as well, breakout. It's this big candle, and obviously for dollar card, since dollar is the first currency here at the base, and obviously we should have it dropping, which is what we have here. And we also got our entry here. So all in all, we have some good positions in the market. As a matter of fact, this one, this is not my first trade on this. This is my second sell position. I got nipped here, I got taken out here, but the area was still holding, the level of interest was still holding, so I decided to pump in another entry, and it seems to be working nicely now. And obviously we're hoping it draws further down. Take profit is lower from another time frame. As you can see here, this is looking like the bottom here, but on another time frame we have a level of demand where we expect to have trouble, and that's where I'll be taking out my profit. So hopefully if it gets there today, fine. If it gets there tomorrow, fine. Whatever the case might be, I don't hold trades over the weekend. So that's basically what I have. Gold, I already told you that gold we are not in the best of times now because of the losses it gave me last week. And but all the same, we're projecting this area. Would have preferred this area here for longs, but it didn't get there. You can see dollar weakness across board showing, and it's pushing higher. That means that every other instrument that we have, that we've taken, you can see this strength over here. Obviously, if we check another instrument, Euro USD is pushing higher, dollar check pushing lower, GBUSD pushing higher. So this is good one for us all in all, based on the other entries that we have. You can't get them all, but the ones that you have and the ones that you've gotten, well, you just have to manage them well. And this looks like a profitable week as well, as I'll be moving my stop loss to break even to manage my trades further, and I'll update this again and see whether it gets to our areas of take profit. Right, another update coming soon. Ask questions if you have to, do what you have to. The market is here for you on a daily basis. It's a 24 hours market. You want to make money, you need to learn. Well, I paid my dues, and now I've learned, and now I'm seeing pips on a weekly basis, and you too can see pips. I will update this again shortly. Thank you everybody, and see you soon. Okay guys, today is the 10th of April 2020, and today happens to be Good Friday. So happy holidays to everybody all over the world. This is the final update here, and as you can see, Euro USD has been closed. We decided to pull the plugs on this after price got to this area here, and after it got here, as you can see what's happening here, it's set to give off this slow movement. And you know, today is Good Friday and we have bank holiday in most places, so I was hoping to get here for a final take profit here, but today's Friday. It's still profit at the end of the day. We entered based on this area here. We got out here for a fill. I think it was close to 100 pips, I'm not sure, but well, it was good profit at the end of the day, and I can't complain. Right, so that is Euro USD close for profit. And then we were also on USD Chef. USD Chef also, you know, as we normally say, they are cousins, or whatever you want to call them, brothers and sisters. The same thing happened sideways market here. We decided to pull the plug on this one too. No point waiting for paint to dry, as everything seems to be moving, you know, very slow. You can see the size of the candles that we have here, very small, tiny looking candles, just to show that the participation, you know, is rather low. So no need to wait any further. The same thing here on cable GBP USD. Got to these highs here. Well, good. This was more or less the best trade for this week, and got to these highs. The same thing. Well, my reason for take profits, apart from the fact that it got to trouble areas such as this and such as this, you know, it got there and all, but the reaction is just rather poor, and the follow through, even though it's breaking out, you can see that it's breaking out from this area here gradually. It's still very poor. It's showing that it's more or less lifeless, like it's dead more or less, and that's obviously based on the holidays for today. Mondays will probably be the same thing, as this is Easter period, will probably be slow as well. AED USD no entry, NZD USD, USD card. This is the final trade I have here. You can see yet to close this one. I'm going to close it now. The participation, look at all these candles here, looking very dead. I was still hoping for, hey, maybe it could just fall down, maybe something could just happen and it could just fall further down on this last trade, but it's not looking likely. So most likely I'm going to close this. I'll just observe it for a bit, but I'm going to close it. Obviously my stop loss has been reduced, and I'll remove it further to this point of entry here, so it becomes a free trade more or less. But I'm not expecting any spike whatsoever. I don't see anything drastic happening today. Well, the market, as I normally say, it can always surprise one, but today is just one of those days, and I'm going to be closing this one finally for, I think, about 80 pips profit. Let's use the cross here. I think it's about 80 thereabouts. Yeah, this reading 85, 83 thereabouts. Well, it's profit at the end of the day, so I'll accept it. And gold, as I said earlier, I was not planning on trading gold, and gold is, you know, maybe next week I'll forgive gold. But you can see what happened here. Got to these areas here and pushed higher. Normally if it wasn't Friday, I would have been looking for an entry back here to push higher some more, but the market is the market, and obviously the market obeys supply and demand, and there isn't just much activities, to move the market, either whether the supply is greater or the demand is greater, right? So that is it for me, and my name remains Tolu, and I'd like to say happy holidays to everybody. Still ensure you're keeping safe from the COVID-19 so that we can quickly eradicate this and get back to our normal lives. Don't forget, forex trading is a means of also making good money, whether you're working from home or you're working, not from home, whether you're doing a 9 to 5. You can always combine this at the end of the day, right? So that's it for me. It's a wrap, and see you same time next week. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can get alerts when new videos are uploaded. Subscribe, like, and share as well. Thank you, everybody. Cheers.